Good evening. Welcome again. Now, as usual, we are telling stories. My story tonight is in school. Yeah, you have been listening to stories at home. Now I'm talking about school.
Okay.
School. And I'm talking about teachers. Teachers.
Talk about them.
And there are two teachers. But because this happened actually recently, I will not use the teacher's name. But there are two teachers. One, let me call him Emma. And another one, let me call him Lumumba. Now I have you. You want to know the tribe. Now, Mr. Lumumba is a primary one teacher, a senior teacher, highly respected in the school. Everybody sees him as a great model. One time he finds Mr. Emma putting a boy on the wall. The boy is holding the wall, and Emma is behind. One of the classes. And Mr. Emma, without even thinking, said, "Stop it!" And Mr. Emma was wondering, who was this that could ever shout at me to stop when I am punishing children? When he looked behind, it was Mr. Emma standing in the window.
Lumumba.
Mr. Lumumba, thank you. Standing in the window, angry. And because Mr. Lumumba was highly respected in the school, Emma stood there sheepishly, not knowing what to do, whether to smile or to be angry. And all the children kept quiet and waited to see what Mr. Emma was going to do, whether he was going to slap Mr. Lumumba, continue beating the children. What was he going to do? After a long silence, Mr. Emma just stormed out of the room and left. Mr. Lumumba told the children to sit down. He went back to his class. Now, at break, when Mr. Lumumba went to the staff room, he found Mr. Emma talking to the other teachers. What's wrong with beating children? What's wrong with beating children? And the other teachers were saying, there is nothing wrong. That is how you discipline the children. That is the only way to control them.
Whose children?
The children that are sent to school to be looked after by these teachers.
Were their children also beaten at school?
My friend, do I know whether they had children or not? Some of these were even young boys and girls. So Mr. Lumumba, after listening to these people, asked them, why do you beat children? And the teachers, hey, that's the only way to control them. That you must instill fear in them so that they can be disciplined. And Mr. Lumumba asked them, is that why you are here? Are you here just to instill fear in the children? Hey, how else will you control them? Are you telling us you don't beat children? And he said, let me tell you why I don't beat children. And he explained that when he, Mr. Lumumba, was in senior 3, he was a wonderful singer, a wonderful dancer. He was a prefect. Everybody liked him. Now, the choir master, although he liked Lumumba very much, was a very harsh teacher. Any small mistake, any small mistake, boom. But Lumumba was intelligent in class, was always passing his numbers. Now he was a good singer, a good dancer. The teacher liked him. One day, just one day like this, they were learning a dance. And, as a child, Lumumba lost his concentration and made a wrong step. Oh! That teacher called him, touch the wall, arms up. He beat this boy so bad that he actually fell unconscious and fell down. He was unconscious. He actually ended up in hospital. By the time he became conscious again, he couldn't move. Eventually, he recovered, went back to school, and became a teacher again. He also became a teacher. The Lumumba now became a teacher. And when he came, the first thing he was also doing was to cane children like he was caned. Especially those who, he was a mathematics teacher then. Those who failed. One day, he was busy caning kids. And one boy, when he was getting to him, the boy stood and said, "But teacher, I did my best. I tried, I did my best." The memory of what had happened to him came back. He looked at the boy. He dropped the stick. He told everybody to go back and sit. He couldn't even complete the lesson. That night, he couldn't sleep. The picture of the boy in front of him crying even before he was beaten and telling him, "I did my best. This is all I'm capable of." And it went back to the time he was beaten, to the time he had to go to hospital. Up to now, actually, his back has never been quite right. And above all, his singing and dancing talent stopped there. He hated singing, he hated dancing, and he's now also not okay with his back. And from that moment when that boy appealed to him, he stopped beating children. And that is why eventually he became a role model to other teachers. All the teachers, the head teacher, all the children liked him. They looked to him as a guide. And all the others who used to beat were not loved, were not respected, were actually not even making the children learn anything. So, the violence that we have always talked about is not only in homes, but our challenge as good citizens is, what do we do to prevent this from happening? Our challenge is to remember that nobody needs to be punished in order to learn. You can motivate children in a positive way, and you can actually, as long as the rules are clear, the consequences of breaking the rules are known, you can motivate them, and they call it positive disciplining. You can motivate them, and they are motivated in a good way, and they grow up not injured, not harmed.
And they'll learn more.
And they learn more and better. That's the end of my story today.